This podcast contains adults using adult language. You have been warned.
Alright, let's see if this works a little bit better for everybody.
Do we have video in addition to our audio?
We are recording.
Yep.
And we seem to be good.
Yeah. Alrighty.
It's looking good on my end.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone for sticking around, hopefully, and for not tuning into that stupid E3 thing that happens last year. And for those of you who will be podcasting with us, thanks for not watching us, but thank you for downloading us.
Well, I mean, come on, don't be like that.
No. We are on-demand entertainment.
Yeah, I demand you get on with it.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. So, in the first part of our episode, Hugon was solicited by...
don't say that. No. Wrong word.
By...
Accosted.
A young girl.
Accosted by a young urchin.
Teach her how to fight with sticks. She was very impressed by his performance during the festival. We had uncovered some possibly new information regarding the Emerald Enclave and their relationship with Elboulder. And Dren ate a donut. And is now a mess. But when we 100%. Left, Corbin had been wandering the main square where there was the crowd where the people of Pinedale had gathered and were celebrating and just enjoying the weather and each other's company. But he was taking it as an opportunity to disappear amongst the crowd and just be able to be alone in thought, thinking about the new information, what it could potentially mean for Elboulder and all of those things. And had, right when we left for break, had felt a bit of a vibration in the ground that did not feel terribly natural.
So are we talking like large animal walking vibration? Are we talking about marching of lots of feet vibration? Or are we talking about lots of digging vibration?
More of that. More of something from underneath. You've been around large enough creatures before where you feel like a certain vibration there, and that's usually pretty localized, right? And even with the marching, that was one of the things you were taught in the monastery, was how to feel for, large groups of people moving in unison. This is more beneath the earth.
Okay, I'm going to start walking without rhythm.
So you don't attract the worm?
Yes.
It's very wise.
But more accurately...
I want to see what that looks like. He's like,
I'll drop down to one knee and just sort of like place my hand on the floor and see if I can get an idea of sort of how expansive this issue may be.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a perception check on that. That would be another perception.
Uh-oh. Not a good roll?
19.
Okay.
Sorry, math is hard.
Math is hard.
I was like, what is 14 plus 5? And my brain was like, 42.
All right.
All right.
Meaning of life.
Right. So you're trying to find if this is...
Like, is it something that is... Now, is it something that is tunneling up to the... to, like, break out into the village? Is it, like, mining? Is it...
Okay, it's not mining, and just based on your dwarf heritage, you would know in your bones the feel of mining equipment, of the action, whatever locomotion is being used to move rock in a mining operation. That's just something that you inherently know, and you know that's not this. Um, it feels as though it not really necessarily something tunneling it up as much as it feels it's a localized vibration.
Because it's not moving; it's just vibrating around me.
But it's not localized on you though. So it's not like, hey, there's Corbin, let's vibrate the ground underneath him. And it's not like a tremors thing where you've got the big, graboid coming up to grab you. But it does feel like underneath the town square, you could kind of feel like that's where it kind of feels like this vibration is happening.
Are there any guards around?
Not that you're seeing. Everyone's kind of caught up in the festivities, so no one is. It's not like an earthquake, so we're not even talking like, like a 1 on the Richter scale. It's
No.
subtle, but
I want to draw someone else's attention to this rumbling.
No, the nearest guards that you can really see. I mean, there might be some wandering around in the crowds, as kind of if you'd ever been like a street festival and the cops will just sort of walk around. You can't necessarily always see them, but there's a guy in uniform just because there's so many people. The keep is a few blocks away, so they wouldn't necessarily. That would be where the majority of the guards would be.
Yeah, because there's no pickpocketing going on in this location. Don't suppose I can see Ileana, can I?
Well, she was with us, right?
Yeah, she was
But
with you over by
she was talking to the other, what I imagine is the mage from the what do you call it? The Rensselaer.
Yeah.
And they never went with you to the bar.
No, they didn't leave, I don't think.
That's what I'm saying, is if I can see, like, you're off in the bar while I'm doing this, can I see her? Can I see Ileana?
Yeah, you could probably, you would be able to see her from where you were.
I'll call out to her in Elvish.
And she perks up.
I'll back her over.
And she comes over, and the mage comes walks with her. They were engaged in conversation, and so they walk over together.
And I'll just sort of point down and kneel down on one knee and put my hand on the ground to indicate for them to do the same. So they can feel the rumbling as well.
Yeah. The mage doesn't seem to react to anything, but Ileana puts her hand down, and you can see she closes her eyes, and it's almost a communal thing with her.
That's why I called for the druid.
And you can see her making like slight changes with her hand, like she's almost like trying to feel for whatever sensory input she's getting from that. And her eyes snap open, and she looks over at you, and in Elvish she says, "We need to clear the square immediately."
This is concerning.
We're not there though,
and
so we have no idea.
I know.
Uh-oh.
And she says, "I must find my husband, but we need to clear the square immediately." And she gets up and she
Why?
disappears, and she goes,
I'm literally...
Uh-oh. Grab her. What?
And she gives you a look as in, you probably shouldn't grab her like that.
I
and
don't care.
and she says, and she looks and she just says, "Mean locks."
All right.
Oh.
So while I have hold of her,
Yeah.
a brief wind plays,
Mhm.
chimes, my eyes close for a moment, and I will confer bardic inspiration upon her, so it's
Mhm.
easier for her to find her husband.
Ah, excellent. So she disappears into the crowd, as if she were like running in between. She's almost like almost if she were using the crowd as like trees and bushes.
Yeah.
It's like she's almost like Yeah, they get in between, just zipping in between.
Now, can you spell the word that she said to me?
Meanlock, MEENLOCKS.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, I turn to the nearest, I don't know, small child,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, "You boy, how would you
What day is it?
What day is it today, you boy? How would you like to earn yourself a silver piece?
He's like, sure. What do you want, mister?
I need you to run to the nymph, find Drenmai and my friends, and bring them to me.
Sure thing.
And I'll give you your silver when you get back."
And he gives you like kind of like a what he thinks would pass as a salute, kind of like a, you know, because he feels awesome that he has been given this responsibility by an adult. So that makes him very, very important. And
what is the tallest structure near me?
there is a statue in the middle of the there's a statue in the middle of the square of what's his the founder of Pinedale.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm blah.
Gideon?
No, that's no. I'll dig it up, but we all know who we're talking about. It's the
So what I'll do
statue. Yeah.
is I'll whirl my way up the statue till I'm
Mhm.
like sitting on his or stood on its shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be, "My lords and ladies, gentlemen and female-like a kind," and I'm addressing that to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "And that includes those of you who do not live in the keep. For today we find ourselves equally blessed, because today is the first day of the Four Winds Festival. It is time to move the party along. It is time to take the party somewhere more regal. And I'm going to inspire the crowd and convince them to move the party to the keep."
He's inviting everyone to the
Oh no, that is genius. Genius.
And if it involves starting a conga line, so much the better.
Let's see. Would that be? I think that would be a performance check.
It's not persuasion?
I could go either way.
Well, they're both +5, so...
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say it's the same
ridiculous bonus that that Corbin has. I'm sort of seeing it from the Lord's. Oh, jeez.
Natural 20.
So
very nice.
I get to do it too.
Yeah. Everybody, everyone, like there's like a huzzah, like kind of like, that cheer that goes through the crowd of like, oh yeah, keg stands, cool, what, and they all start
moving towards the keep.
Back at the At the nymph. So, Corbin, you're there. Drenmai, you're there. Thunuk, were you inside? Were you outside? Where were you?
I had not followed anyone inside. I was still outside.
Just hanging out. So this little kid. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Before Corbin called him over, Thunuk was going on about the idiosyncrasies of the potato. And how it's totally cool with us eating it, and it tastes great because it knows like we're going to plant some more of it, which is why it's so, cooperative about us eating it and blah blah blah, and like the whole life cycle and these aren't real facts. These are just things Thunuk thinks is real, like potatoes.
Philosophy.
Yeah, potatoes' opinion on like where the best soil is and like does it what sort of like fertilizer it prefers and that sort of thing. And like there's a rivalry between the baking potato and the boiling potato and things like that. Like,
and there's just like this group of children in front of you who are just like utterly enraptured by this, and they're asking you like potato questions, like
Teach
legit
me your potato lore.
No, but they're like legitimately like, oh, well, what about like if it's a sandy soil but it gets wet some of the time? Do potatoes like that?
Do they potato god?
They do, but some of them do, but some of them don't. It really depends on the potato. Like the red skin ones, like this type of situation.
Now,
and
this is not a nature check. I will never know.
No, because he's just making it up. That's the.
But that's the best part. I want to know if he believes what he's making up.
A lot of the stuff he has come to the conclusion like this is how the world works because I have had conversations with plants and I think this is what they have told me in return.
And so yeah, and but they're like just enraptured in this story, and they're eating this hook, line, and sinker, just like, yeah, I mean, no, that this makes sense. This makes sense that they're asking you all like potato
30
questions.
years later.
But
None
of the questions
of Pinedale occurs.
but none of these questions have anything to do with like how they taste or how to raise them. It's more about like, the
feelings of the potato.
Why do potatoes have spots?
Potato culture, and so I imagine you probably would have like sat down on the ground and like are like talking with the kids, right? I just have this picture of Thunuk sitting cross-legged, still as tall as most adults, but just having probably one of the best conversations he's had in a very long time, with these kids who get him. They understand him. And give me a perception roll.
Raise the potato.
Perception 15.
So as you're telling the story, you too feel a vibration in the ground, and the kids don't really react to it. They don't notice it, but you definitely noticed something. And so you keep on with your potato talk. Potato culture and whatnot. And excuse me. And this little urchin of a child comes sprinting by after like a minute or so. Comes sprinting by. And again, he goes to run past you and then like almost like puts the brakes on and he like stops so quick, like, and it's like, it's a dirt road. Yeah. But you see kids that when they try to stop like on gravel where they slide, but then like they get like a little top heavy and the kid just wipes out like next to you, like completely like. But then he stands up real quick, and he's like, "Whoa, dwarf guy wants you over there," and he points over to the statue, and then he sprints off into the nymph, into the nymph inferior.
Clinic's gonna tell all the kids like, "Okay, I gotta go. Thank you for listening. Nobody ever listens to me when I talk about this stuff. It's all very important, but nobody listens.
You've never
Thank
tried
you.
to talk to us about it. Thank you very much.
He may not be referring to us. He may be referring to other people.
This is
He said no one.
Oh, that's true.
that's
he did.
true. That is true.
And as they're getting up, they're like, "Aw, Uncle Thunna, can you tell us another one?"
Just give them all a potato and send them home happy.
That's actually precisely what he'll do. He'll have had
Give
like
them random seeds.
he'll have grabbed like a handful of potatoes. They aren't even cooked or anything. Just
Mhm.
a handful of potatoes from that contest, and they're in a pouch. And he's like giving everyone potatoes, and he's like,
He's like Potato Santa.
take these home.
And they're just like, "Whoa!" And
These are
they're
your
like,
potatoes now.
but they're sitting there. They're like, most times you get a potato, like, okay, potato, right? But
Yeah.
they're like examining these things, like, "Whoa,
Taking
oh look, mine's
knowledge.
got the 3 spots on top. That means that they like that kind of soil. But this one, oh no, but that one also has the streak, so that means they want that
suddenly
soil."
have images of Thunuk having started a branch of the Potato Scouts.
But they're like talking about like they're like examining them and like looking for like the different like it's almost like there's like reading tea leaves, but it's like
Potatoes.
potatoes and like, but they're not telling the future. They're just like, oh no, that's what this means with this potato, and this one's probably this old, and this one came from this and they're like just and you go, I guess, sauntering off at a pace.
Yeah.
So
Comes from the
Hugon.
magical land of Idaho.
The fabled place of the Potato King.
Ida-ho.
Yeah.
Fantasy Idaho.
Idaho is a thing that Hugon says every weekend.
That's true.
But
Does he get paid for it?
Phrasing.
Phrase. Oh, add phrase.
It wasn't a phrasing. I knew exactly what I was saying.
It doesn't matter.
The sin is
it
even
still
greater.
works.
Count it.
So Hugon and Drenmai, you guys are in the nymph. The Swifts have just left. Was there any conversation that you guys were having after the Swifts left?
No, I handed him a beer and I went back to my donut.
In fact, you're just mashing that donut. And this little urchin comes running in and like is looking in. He's looking around, and he just does not see Drenmai at all because he's looking for adults.
I'm short.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but he sees Hugon, and he grabs you, and he starts, and you feel a tug at your pant leg.
Oh my God! What?
And you
What
and-
do you want?
and he goes, dwarf guy said he wants you and Dren, and that you'd give me a silver.
I hate children.
I hate grown-ups, but he said you'd give me a silver.
I finished my drink,
Okay.
and I study real hard about not giving him shit. And then I give him a silver.
Okay, thanks, mister. Go see dwarf guy. He's over by the statue, and he belts out the door.
Finish your donut.
Bring the donut with you.
Like this far. I'm like not even a quarter in. I'm
There's
like
like a
an
wedge.
Oh,
eighth
okay,
in.
well, I thought you were almost done. So like, it's like, nope, we're
No.
going. We're going. And like,
One day I'm
pick up
gonna,
my-
one
I'll
day
pick
I'm
up
gonna
my-
commission that food truck to make a donut that fits round Dren. Like a hula hoop
Like a hula hoop.
Like no, like a life tube thing.
Yeah.
with a horsey head on it.
You know how like a lot of bars and like restaurants have like that barrel for umbrellas and canes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one has one for just Hugon's polearm.
Right at the front.
It just rang and like grabs it from the storage barrel and makes his way outside.
I like that visual, where it's just out the door.
I'm gonna find like I don't know. I'm gonna give like a piece of the donut to Hugon, and then I'm gonna find like the nearest like a group of kids and be like sugar. And just give it to 'em.
It's the people that have the potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah, you see all
it'll
these
be the
kids.
potato kid.
The potato kids are out there.
And now they're trying to work out how to mix a potato with a donut.
Yes.
But they're
So I
but
wanted
you
to
can see the
give them the
conversation
donut.
starts again, though. Okay, but if the dot is on this part of the donut, what does that mean? Because on the potato, it means this, but on the donut, and you can see, and as you walk away there, and you have no idea what the hell they're talking about because you've never heard anything
Nope.
about this, about potatoes before.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. You guys start making your way towards the statue. Corbin, you had sent the kids away. You did your little speech. By the time you clamber down, the little kid comes find you. He goes, "Okay, mister, I went and got your friends. Can I have my silver now?"
Insight check. And I just stare at him.
Because, yeah,
Because I rolled a 19 on my insight check.
you know he's telling the truth. He went and got
Uh-huh. I'll reach into my pouch.
Just hold out your hand.
I reach into my pouch.
Mm-hmm.
And I go like this, and I've got 2 silver in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, about to learn a lesson, kid.
Did you steal it from the kid?
No.
Oh, I know what you're doing. Oh, I see. No. Oh, so he like immediately goes for his pockets.
Yeah. Do I need to roll sleight of hand?
Yeah, I think for that you would. Yeah, in order to steal.
20.
Yeah, that'll get it. So he doesn't have any coin in his pocket now. He's got 2.
You're about to learn a lesson, kid, and I hold out 2 silver in the palm of my hand.
He goes, and he like checks his pockets, and he like, just looks up at you like in shock. But
what did you learn?
Be a better liar.
Good, and I give him both silver. I ask him his name first.
Oh, I actually prepared for this.
Just to make the DM panic.
No. I prepared for this.
Nice try.
No, I did. I prepared for this. And now I can't... Dustin.
All right, Dustin. Today you learned you need to be a better liar. And hide your silver better. And I give him both silver.
Okay. No, I was prepared for the names today.
Come by the nymph tomorrow. I might have a job for you.
Sure thing. And he starts following the rest of the crowd. After Fairwind by Torchlight, I learned my lesson. Have a list of names.
Always have names. Or
Always
at least
have...
a random name generator.
Go to the random name generator, hit it 8 times.
That's
done.
Exactly what I did. And then the rest of your group comes up.
Is the ground still reverberating?
Yeah, there's still a feeling of, again, it's not earthquake. It's vibration. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still that.
Mm-hmm.
Do we feel it?
So I call
Since
them
we're coming
over
up to it.
I do with them, like I call them over,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, and I put my hand on the ground.
So perception checks for Hugon and Dren.
Like, why are you touching the ground?
And Thunuk.
And Thunuk.
I just grab
I don't
her
put my hand on the ground. I just sit down.
I just grab her hand and put it on the ground. Like I'm not taking any of her bullshit for an answer.
Wait.
I have another 17 on the dice.
Okay, so you definitely feel the vibration.
I've already felt the vibration.
Yeah, you did. So
okay, never mind.
No. What was your percent? I'm just curious.
I rolled a 2. So that's a total of like 5.
I mean, if we were to make you roll that again, that would be we'd probably let you do advantage because you already know what you'd be feeling for at that point. So that would be fine. So Dren,
I'm sitting on the ground.
You're sitting on the ground. Corbin, put your hand on the ground, and you can actually feel. You could almost feel like something forming underneath the square. And
I turn to Thunuk
mm-hmm.
and I say, "Does the word meanlocks mean anything to you?"
Thunuk, do a history check on that one.
Would I get to history check this as well, being the
Yeah, you can
studious
history check
person
that as
I
well.
am?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
6.
It means nothing to
Um,
you.
May I
Should
roll a
I
history
do
check?
one since it's my
Yeah.
area, my hometown? Well, not
Yeah.
hometown, but
What do I
where
know
I've been
about
for a
mean
while.
locks?
I got an 18.
An
E
18. An 8 or an 18?
18. 1-8.
Okay.
9.
9,
11.
11. So Hugon, you have heard of the word meanlock, but you're not quite sure where that conversation happened.
Mhm.
Corbin, you have come across this name before, and you know that this is like some kind of it refers to some kind of disturbingly twisted fae.
Oh, I know exactly what they are.
Yeah.
The problem is Corbin.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna have to try real hard not to metagame right now.
But you know that this is a form of a form of life just utterly ruined. In terms of the fae, and you know that if more than one of them are like in the same area, that they almost have like a hive that forms magically. And Dren, even though you don't know what a meanlock is, you can feel something just. It feels as though the makeup of the ground deep down is changing. Like you have a feel for how things fit together and how, because you're always your general disposition is you're trying to figure out the building blocks of the universe and what they mean to each other, right? That's the whole thing. And this is, you're sensing there is something happening, and you're feeling it radiate out from where you are, and it feels like it's almost growing towards the east. And there's still a sizable group of people at the edge of this courtyard, the edge of this square, heading off to the keep, and you can feel like this whatever is happening deep down is happening in their moving towards their direction.
And so it's moving towards the group that's leaving.
Yes.
Did I see? Has have the druids come back?
The druids have started making their way back. Yes, they have started working their way back towards you. So you see them crossing at a brisk pace, and they're actually moving towards the crowd. You can see it almost looks like they're trying to move the crowd a little bit faster, like without panicking them, but they're almost trying to like herd them a little bit.
I think Hugon's like danger sense is starting to.
His spider sense is tingling.
It's like
Spidey sense tingling.
Are we about to be attacked?
I
Very
want to
possible,
send
yes.
Rozzy up to the crowd to almost play like sheepdog and kind of nip at him to get him to move faster. So I'm sending him off to basically be shepherd and moving their asses.
I like it.
If that's where if I see activity happening in that area, would I surmise that would be where the attack is going to occur?
Well, all you see are the people.
Okay.
The only one
I look at Hugon and I go rear guard and point at the people.
All right. And like, yep, I got it.
So you go over, and Rozzy starts flitting over, and like kind of like playfully nipping at people.
I'll turn on my sergeant voice and see if I can't make them move faster.
So what would you be saying?
He's kind of doing that for the adults, and then for the kids, he's maybe doing like little spouts of fire, getting them excited to run along quicker.
Like little.
What would that sound like?
Little sparks.
Yeah.
Come get me, chase me.
As he's running off, I will say, "Remember, it's a party."
Yeah.
Okay.
I have this vision in my head of Razi almost with like hummingbird-like wings. That's how Razi would fly, because it's like
yeah,
he's mechanical. It flitters because since he's made of metal, he can't do the flat motion, so it's more of a flitter.
It's like more of a like a
it's
kind of like
and
zipping around. Yeah, I have this really cute image in my head right now of Razi just
pretty much. He's like nipping adults and then making sparks for the kids.
I yell in Elven to the druids.
Yeah.
Hive and point down.
And she nods, and they continue like starting to And
I do this towards the group because I know it's growing towards the group, right?
Yep.
So I'm trying to get them to see that's what's happening.
All right, Hugh gonna run up behind them and basically curse and shout at them like, "Run faster! There's free beer, and I want some."
And both druids kind of look at you like a little askance, but they Tobin just jumps right on in like, beer. No, I gotta get the beer first. Yeah, come on, man, I gotta get to me some. No, wait, is it craft brewed?
Reported sightings of Jim Dark Magic at the keep.
And so he's. I
suppose I could prestidigitate, or I could make another alert.
It's all right. I think I think it's sufficient.
So and the crowd starts moving and moving, and finally, like the last stragglers, are out of the group, or out of that area, and are hustling down like this main avenue towards the keep. So it feels like they're out of that range.
Okay.
How big do we feel this hive is?
It probably takes up most of the square underneath.
Yeah, you said it was the town square.
Yeah. I mean, difficult to say because this is happening deep, so it's like, but it's difficult to estimate. But it was, you would figure.
So we think this is more than just like 2 or 3 of them.
That's hard to say because the hive, from your memories of when you were reading of strange creatures of the Shadowfell, that it's not like they actually tunnel. It's more like this, for lack of an appropriate fantasy term, it's almost like a quantum experience where it simply becomes into existence.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is the hives are usually dependent on the amount of people that have to live in them.
Yes. That again, it's really hard to say. You would figure that there might be a lot under there, but I mean, it's really hard to say because that's a piece of information you may not have had, like a relative size of, because you don't know how much room. Like if it were like kobolds, that would be a little bit more easier to gauge because that's a more common creature that there's been lots of study on. There has not been a lot of study on the Meanlock.
Okay. Now,
there was one guy, you remember reading the notes from an expedition that he made, but they were rather incomplete because he was eaten by the Meanlocks, and it was his apprentice that tried to translate what he could find from the blood-stained parchment that was left.
So I'm expecting any time soon for the first group of partygoers to reach the keep, the guards to go, what the fuck, and come to the square to find out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I mean that's entirely a possibility. Now the keep is like, that's where like the town administration is. It's not like there's a lord.
I'm aware of what's at the keep.
Yeah. So, but it's not like a lord lives there.
The guards are.
Yeah.
Which is why I sent people to the keep.
So everyone kind of is out of the main town square area, and the druids, they come back towards you at the
square,
at the statue, and you've noticed that there's a that the vibration has stopped.
So, in common,
Mm-hmm.
So these mean lock things are bad, right?
And Ilorana says, it's an understatement.
Now, are they bad because you're a fae and you don't like them because of their history? Or are they bad because they're just bad?
They're bad because they ritually torture people telepathically to increase their kind.
Right. Okay, so on the bad side of things.
Can
Just
they be
flat
killed?
bad.
How do we get rid of them?
Yes.
And Hugon, to your answer, to your question, Ilorana gets almost this predatory look in her eye. So you would ask her, "Can you kill them?" And she just gets this predatory look in her eye and says, "Oh yes."
I'm gonna roll a deception at this point to try and not show her husband I'm kind of turned on right now. I rolled a 6.
He failed.
I rolled no deception of any sort.
But Tobin doesn't notice. Tobin's more like...
Tobis is still, he's going over the whole Jim Dark Magic handshake disappearing act.
Yeah, and he's just more like, man, yeah.
I'll click in front of him.
Look at my junk.
No, I'll be like,
Focus.
Yeah. He's not like spaced out, but he's that's.
Oh,
he missed that. He missed that.
For all you know, they have an open marriage. I mean,
they could be swingers.
They could be, where it's like, nah, you can't tie yourself down, man. Love knows no bounds. These are just vessels that we live in.
That says a lot about his fascination with Jim Dark Magic. I wonder if Jim knows. I'll have to send him a letter. So I'm like, how do we get rid of these things? Because if they're going to start mentally torturing these townspeople, we cannot be having that.
And she says, we have to wait for them to come to the surface, but once they do, be relentless. They'll go down.
Okay. So you're going to summon backup or what?
We're kind of what we have right now.
You're the only 2 druids in the forest. Fuck that!
The only ones nearby. The nearest ones are at least several hours travel.
And how long is it going to take these things to get to the surface? At which point we roll initiatives.
Now.
Well, no, but at that point you see the two wizards come back into the town square, right where all the townspeople were exiting. And right as they get there, everybody give me a perception check.
Ooh, it's not good.
That's an 8.
Ditto.
8.
Well, I rolled an 8.
Yeah.
That's 13.
13. Okay.
I have a 21.
So Hugon.
Because Hugon stood over there, so.
Yeah, so he was still nearby. You're like kind of in that vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear.
Is this to do with the ground?
No. This is actually, you hear, adjacently.
Because if it's anything to do with stone or the ground, I get advantage via stone.
No, it's not that. It's not that.
Is ground not stone?
Is ground not stone? No, you hear the telltale whistle, but very, very subtle, of an arrow. Or it's not so much the whistle, but you know that like arrows make a very distinct noise.
Yes, they do.
And you hear one, and it hits the ground right in front of the 2 wizards.
Uh-huh.
And when that happens, the ground underneath it just bursts open. And these insectoid-looking creatures, they are bipedal, but they've got like these enormous claws and almost like this. I'm trying to find a picture of them. They look like that.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Do not want.
Do not. So, and
Kill it with fire. Let's rock.
Several of these nopes come out, bursting out of the ground.
How many?
And
what is the collective noun for a nope?
A nope.
Fuck
Would it be?
Nukes.
No. That's a group of them. Like a group of nopes is a fuck nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess it would be if you have more than one nope, it's nopes or.
Well, it's a fuck ton.
Or or a no pie maybe. The 4 no pie.
There's 4 of them.
No, well there's 4 of them, and they quick grab the 2 mages and drag them underground.
Not acceptable.
Oh,
and
shit!
As they go under, more start to emerge from the
shit!
From the thing. So, now would be an excellent time to get some initiative.
Oh god.
I severely hope you've doctored these creatures.
8.
We got this under control.
Hang on a second. 8. Hang on a second here. I'm getting myself.
We have to. Let's roll off.
It's whoever
8.
has the highest dex.
Whoever has the highest dex. That's no fun. Mine's 14.
Yeah, you got the higher dex.
Okay, so what else does everyone else have?
I have an 19.
19. Okay. Okay. That goes here. Hugon, what did you have?
11.
11. Trying to get all this. Wait, where are you? Oh, here you are. Okay. Just doing my makeshift tracker. Nope, not that. Okay.
Episode of South Park.
Right. All right. So, Ilorana and Tobin are the first to react to this, and Ilorana has drawn this large scimitar, and Tobin has a quarterstaff that looks like it's just 3 stages removed from just being a branch.
Mm-hmm.
One might call it a shillelagh.
They could perhaps call it a shillelagh, but Ilorana immediately rushes in on the first of the meanlocks here. And I'm just gotta do this here. Give me 1 second.
How many mean locks are there?
There's 3
in total.
That came back
2
out.
snatched.
Oh,
yeah. So, and what's the? Hang on. Okay. Yeah. All right. So she takes a swing at this thing and misses. As it, like, she takes a swing, and she was almost like too excited to jump in. And her timing was off. And then Tobin comes in right behind her, and he too misses. So they were almost like jumping the gun. They almost like jumped the gun. It was almost like they were taken by surprise and were almost reacting. So Corbin, it is now your turn.
I run into the tree line. I want to find out who shot that fucking arrow.
There is no tree line.
It would have come from a Beeling.
All right, and then I run to where the arrow came from.
So that would be, you'd do a perception check.
24.
So you see, all of this is happening on the eastern corner of the square. The arrow actually came from like what looks to be like the northern end of it.
Right.
So that would be most of your turn just to get over there, though. That would be.
What do I see over there?
You don't see anything.
All right, so I'm heading over there. So I'm going over there.
Okay.
He's going up there.
All right. So that'll pretty much be your turn, is just to make your way over there to that.
That would be my move action, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then is there any action you could...
I want to investigate the area to find out who shot the arrow.
No, but I'm saying you did a perception check and you didn't there's nothing to be seen. You can tell from where the arrow landed. It's a real quick, oh, that's the angle, and you're able to suss out
that
like where.
That doesn't mean when I'm closer there isn't more evidence.
Okay, I mean you could do another perception check or another investigation check if you would like.
So you're telling me this thing just literally disappeared?
It appears so.
I did. Wizards. Other angry wizards.
No.
Shit.
Are you checking your stack there to see if there's anything to be done?
My spells.
Your spells.
He's gonna see if he can spell this shit.
I would. If I had spells, I would spell shit all the time.
I've got an image of Corbin standing on a stage with a microphone in front of him. Investigation. INVE.
What am I looking for? I am looking for this.
So do I think the arrow was shot from a height or from ground level?
From a height.
All right. So I'm going to use prestidigitation.
Yeah.
And just illuminate the area.
Okay.
Are we? What time of the day are we at?
It's it's evening. So it lights up. Yeah, it lights up. But I mean it's lit. There's nothing up there on the top of that building.
I am banking on the fact that these things are subterranean.
Yeah.
And don't like light. Fingers crossed.
You know, let me think about. Let me check that for a second. I think that's actually.
No. I'm not saying they do.
No. I'm trying to remember.
Thought process is if they are if they are used to being underground and.
Oh yeah. No,
there are old tales of a type of dwarf that lived exclusively underground called the Duragar.
Yeah.
Who, when they were in light, would recoil and be less useful than normal.
Mm-hmm.
So Corbin is betting that if something lives in a hive underground, and is suddenly bathed in light, it's gonna make noise or
hopefully.
No, they react. Yeah, they react to that, like almost like this weird like clicking noise. But it's obviously a clicking noise where they're upset, not
Now, is there one in my area, or is it all over there?
No, it's all over, in that they're all burrowing out of that one area there.
All right, cool.
Okay, so Corbin.
Yeeth.
No, that was you, Corbin. That was your turn.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Hugon.
Yeah.
So these guys were probably about 20 feet away from you, where they burrowed up. Mm-hmm. So what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go start stacking them like cordwood.
Okay.
I moved to the nearest neon lock and tried to murder it.
Okay.
For existing. That's its crime.
It was born.
I have an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Delightful.
So let me get some. What's the damage here?
I have an 11 to damage.
Oh shit!
And because my first attack hits, I am going to do my secondary 1d4 bludgeoning attack now.
Okay.
I have another 18 to hit.
That indeed hits.
I'm liking these 13s that I keep rolling. Nice. And I do 7 additional points of damage.
Okay. That is very good. So describe to me what you're doing here. Like what these, so you basically are able to get these 2 hits. So describe to me what this
He looks at the druids
as you pierce their chitinous flesh.
He looks at the druids and just kind of like chuckles inwardly to himself, like amateurs. And he just takes a running leap and uses the spear end of his halberd to pin one to the ground, and then just sort of scrape it and launch it away from himself.
Okay, so you're actually you're in the air coming down on it, driving it. Oh, I like this.
This sounds like shuffleboard, but with mean locks.
Yeah.
And where you have to kill the shuffle thing first.
8 points.
So you do that, and it's just this, as you pierce it, this black ichor just, spurts out, and it stinks to high hell. And so you land, and then you swipe at it again. And so basically your first hit comes in, right, and pierces. And the second one is you ripping.
Yes, exactly.
Ripping it out. And you just start, the carapace is just
It collapses on itself like a bug.
It's like, yeah. So now it's their turn, though.
Good. Bring it.
So the one that you just attacked is going to take a snap at you with
interesting.
With its claws. So I'm guessing a 9 does not hit.
It does not hit.
Okay.
You are correct.
Like you that resignation in your voice, like, I'm guessing a 9 doesn't make it.
Well, listen. It could be that maybe that was the day that he had extra sensitive skin.
It's true.
Maybe he didn't moisturize that morning and he was feeling a little dry and cracked.
Maybe.
So
hasn't used his gold bond yet.
He might not have. He might have forgotten. Perhaps he didn't have gold bond that day and all there was cornstarch, but it wasn't really cornstarch, it was just flour.
Yes. From the cornerstones.
Yeah. There's many explanations as to why it might have been a 9. However, today it was none of those things. And then now the second one is going to, with this like awful like clicking, kind of like this, Ooh. Yeah, no, that's not good. That is not good. It misses horribly.
Oh.
So with this bright light shining, it's, both of them are like trying to go for these attacks, but you're able to definitely move out of the way. This is like trying to get out of the way out of someone who just started boot camp and they're trying to stab at you.
I just thought up the most epic attack for Hugon, but
oh yeah,
I have this image.
We'll message it to him so that way.
I'm gonna message it to you. On
and
Discord.
then
I'm listening. Yeah, I want to see it.
Then the third one actually starts to take its pinch at you. Now it's trying to go for like your ankles here, like trying to like get a piece of your hamstring. And okay. All right. 23 to hit. You by the way, Hugon, you have actually full real hit points.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure you weren't thinking that you were playing with an unloaded deck there.
No, you're good. You're good.
So it's going to do... Hang on. Make sure I have enough dice. So it does 4 and 2, 6, 7. Does 8 points of damage.
Okay.
So it gets... That one you took down was able to get like almost like an opportunity attack and is able to like get in there and gets
I was like banking on trying to murder it in that go, and it didn't work.
You came close.
Yeah.
But as it claws into you and it's a slashing damage with these claws, you feel this
here comes the poison save.
Yeah, you feel this burning sensation in your thigh from where it got you. So you do need to make a Constitution save.
Okay, that's one of my save proficiencies.
Oh,
so you have to add your proficiency bonus as well.
So.
And I'm not reading the note that you just put down because I want to hear what this is.
Yeah, I do too. I'm excited. Oh, natural 20.
Ooh.
So it's a 24 total. Hopefully that's enough.
You are going to want to read that though.
Okay.
Yeah. You are able to shrug this off. this is like, oh, you have drank harder things than this.
Yeah.
You've had rot gut that's been more debilitating than what this shadow fae was trying to do to you. And yeah, you just shrug it off completely. So you're fine.
Okay.
Dren.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you were still there.
No, I just want to push the button.
Oh.
I didn't actually do anything. Okay, so there's 3 of them still out and about here, so I am going to... How far away are they from me?
You'd be able to make it to them. They're probably about 30, 40 feet. You'd be able to make it in one turn. They're close enough where you'd be able to cover the distance.
I don't have to move then.
I was going to say, you're a mage, you shouldn't be
out of
moving
these guys.
closer.
Yeah. No. I was just making sure that they weren't like way over there, and I'm like, hey guys.
No, you definitely have. You're definitely close enough for you to.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna magic missile the shit out of them. They are each going
Jim's
to
magic missile?
take. It's my magic missile.
Does it
It
have
comes
a
from
magical
Blade.
day in the air?
God, they are each gonna take 4 damage.
Okay, so each of them take 4.
Each of them take 4.
Okay, that brings him down.
Lantern pops out. Pew pew pew.
And that's
Don't
the noise
like
that she
crab.
makes.
Having you for dinner. Yeah, pew pew pew.
Pew pew pew.
Does it literally go pew pew pew?
I kind of want it to, but that's probably me just going pew pew pew.
But
from like the distance over here, I'm probably still sitting on the ground.
So
with
when
my lantern
Dren does this, yeah, I was gonna say when Dren does this, what is the effect that we're seeing? Because we saw what happens with like the laser, right? Is this the laser attack or is this?
All of my magic gets focused through this lantern.
Yeah. So what does the magic missile look like when Dren does the magic missile?
The magic missile is literally I'm sitting here cross-legged on the ground, still like ground shook. Things happened. People got snatched. Staff, lantern, right in front of me, and I'm just gonna hold it out in front to each one. And there's just little shot, like not beam or anything, just little
like a thread of light.
Just a little tiny bit of thing, and it goes pew pew. That's why I'm saying pew.
That's your verbal component.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, so they just and it's like this thread, almost like silken thread.
Yeah, and it's short. It's not like long. It doesn't extend because it's a missile. It's just this little, but it just that goes pew.
Pierces through them, and while it doesn't look like it does any damage to this chitin, it definitely wreaks havoc on the inside, right? So there's no blood. It almost cauterizes on its way in and out, but what it does on the inside is just like there's messy things that are happening there.
I wanted to cook the crab from the inside. No, I'm just kidding.
Are meatloaf edible?
Dark.
We're about to find out.
So Thunic.
So I can't actually see the Thunic figures out they're edible.
I just have this image of Thunic pulling out this giant-sized set of crab claw crackers. Like,
Jumpy.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Use them like nunchucks.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. Puts on a bib.
I love it.
I mean,
with the lobster on it.
They look spider adjacent.
A hammer in one hand and the crackers in the other. You know what? We don't even need the paper on the table.
Somebody grab the butter.
So anyway, Thunic.
Sure. Oh, there it is. All right, I can't actually see the people who got grabbed and dragged in.
No, they got drugged down into this this tunnel.
Okay. So far, the druids are doing fairly poorly, and everyone else seems to be doing okay. So I'm going to cast Bless, and for my 3 targets, I'm going to target the 2 druids and myself.
Okay. And what does Bless do?
It allows you to add 1d4 to hit and save rolls, I think.
Yes.
Okay. So is that do I roll that d4 or do you just roll the d4
you roll
and that's
it
the
when
bonus?
you roll the dice.
Got it.
Yeah. So your druids are going to roll. Have the option of rolling d4s for the next minute.
Okay.
Whenever they're doing a save or an attack roll, as do I.
Sounds
pretty
good.
Cool.
And I'm going to shillelagh my stick.
Yeah, shillelagh the stick.
Yep, shillelagh the stick. That's my entire turn because that was my bonus and my action.
So we're back up to the top of the order here. So Illarana, now because they're so close, these things they carry this aura around them. There's a discomfort around Meanlocks that's just part and parcel with their being. So we have to do some fear saves here. So actually having that bless will hopefully help Illarana and Tobin. No, it does not help her. She
Did you add the d4?
I did. It was not terribly helpful.
Dang.
Because she rolled like trash.
Useless.
So now she basically has to spend her turn getting as far away from these things as possible. Just because it's this mystical. You can just see like this conflict in her face where she knows she wants to engage, but there's just something deep within her that's saying that she can't, and she starts backing away and she moves as far away as she can from them. Tobin is going to do the same thing. Tobin does make his save, so he is able to jump on in there, and he wild shapes into a giant badger. And let me pull up
this badgers are no joke, man.
Dude, have you ever seen a pissed off badger?
Yeah.
Dude, I once threw at a party I was running for a group of 5 dire badgers.
Oh shit!
Jesus.
Did you not like these people?
Dire
Did they
badgers
win?
were not happy.
Badgers are never happy.
I wonder why.
So now he's gonna. Tobin now is this enormous badger. Who's the pattern of his fur still kind of looks like the clothing that he had, right? Like, and even like all like the beaded necklaces that he was wearing, like that's kind of like into this coat, like this modeling, this modeled coloring in his coat. So he's gonna actually get 2 attacks here. He's gonna go after a bite and trash, and he's gonna go after with his claws. And oh my god,
More trash.
More trash. This is like,
come on.
You are adding the d4s to these guys, right?
huh?
You're adding the d4 to him too, right?
I am, and they're just rolling like utter trash. So they were both relatively ineffectual in that.
But
turn.
now they're great big old targets now, or at least the badger is. So that can be useful. I can ride the badger into battle.
So Corbin, back up to you.
All right. How far away from me are they?
You'd be able to make it. You'd be able to close the distance in a turn.
Okay. But I don't.
No, I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna make you spend the next 3 turns just running.
Well, no, I'm asking for a spell range.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can make it there within a turn, so you'd be within
25 feet.
Yeah.
30, 25,
All
somewhere in that
right.
range.
So, realizing that there's nothing around me, or thinking that there's nothing around me, you see Corbin sort of take a moment and center himself, and just sort of do like he like puts his arms out to the sides and he brings them round into like a shape, and that same sort of ethereal music that that Drenmai had heard before starts to play around him. But all of a sudden it becomes very concordant and out of tune, and he sort of pulls his hands to his sides and screams akin to what any comic book fan would know as the Black Canary.
Yeah.
And casts dissonant whispers towards one of to the towards the already injured. More. Actually,
I was about to say they're all injured because I hit all of them.
Well, one is doing pretty poorly. The one that Hugon
really hurt.
He's really hurt. The other two took that initial hit, but they don't seem too affected by it.
I'll cast it on one of the others.
Okay.
So, which means you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. And what's the number? Let's see.
On a fail save, you take 3d6 psychic damage.
Ooh.
And must immediately use your reaction, if available, to move as far away from me as possible.
Okay. No adjustment. Okay. So, and what's the target I'm trying to hit?
13.
All right, but he's at disadvantage. Oh, there's no need.
Why?
You're not rolling so well today.
Oh, jeez.
Well, for you, that's awesome. So that's
a roll of 1.
Crit fail.
Yeah.
Okay.
He rolled a 1.
That is a critical fail. All right. So
he takes 16 points of damage.
Ugh. 16?
Ouchie.
Nice.
16.
2 6s and a 4.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
And
yeah,
must immediately move its entire movement away from me. It does not move into dangerous ground such as fire or a pit.
No. Yeah. It's just trying to find the safest way away from you.
No, it must move directly away from me, even if that moves it through attacks of opportunity from other people.
No, but I'm saying, but not towards fire. Like it wouldn't run into...
Not towards fire or difficult ground. It must get as far away as possible.
So, the route, so from where you are, it starts running. Like it just is, like it's almost like this, like weird, not even clicking, almost half scream.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel? What do you feel the dissonant whispers would be saying to him?
Oh, it's as I described. It's more of a discordant sound.
Oh, okay. So you're using it like So it's like almost like reverberating.
If you think about like Black Canary scream from like the comic books, it's just this discordant sound that just hits him like a wall. So like the beautiful ethereal music that Corbin plays on the invisible harp in front of him when he's casting spells, all of a sudden becomes these dissonant sort of
it becomes tinnitus
sound. No, it becomes like almost like sounds that contradict each other and just hurt when you hear them in high pitched frequencies and low pitched rumbles.
So
and
like
just,
Nickelback.
Boom. No, because no one actually listens to Nickelback. It's just inflicted upon them. There's actual
kind of like this.
No, there's actual sound here.
Oh, okay.
But to me the image would be like it, almost as if the sound waves themselves become sharp objects and bludgeoning objects, and like a bit of him would get like pierced through the shoulder, and then like a blunt part right in the rib cage, and you feel the crack of the chitin under it, and like a sharp slash across the back of the kneecap, and just like it's sharp, it's hot, it's cold, it's blunt, it
100% is bad,
and none of it goes together,
and it's also psychic damage.
Yeah,
which means it's ripping this thing's very soul apart.
Yeah.
So, and I would like to point out, other than Dren, no one has seen Corbin cast magic before.
So this is new. This is new. So
for the others.
This thing like shudders as it gets hit with this blast of discordant sound, and immediately starts scuttling down the street away from you as fast as it can. Unfortunately, it's also the direction that all the townspeople ran.
Do I get to try and hit it as it runs?
Yes. In fact,
as a Polar Master, you should have got attacks of opportunity on all of them when they walked towards you.
That's true, and I think I only get one reaction around though at this point.
That's true, yeah.
So I would have gotten to hit one. So this works out. This works out.
Are you going to take
a new round?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm going to take it. I'm going to try and wail on the asshole.
Okay.
I have a 16 to hit.
That does hit, yes.
And I don't believe that I can use my bludgeoning attack, my like 1d4 on reactions.
No, it's just like you get the one attack.
Come on, Hugon, let's take one of these things down, bud.
I have 12 on the damage.
Oh!
Come on!
So as this thing, like,
it turns around and I'm like, nuh-uh. And just bring it down in a like overhead arc and just bisect it.
Yeah. Crack it on the head.
You get this thing from skull to shoulders, and it just, I mean, you bury this thing right down the middle. Black ichor just oozing out of this thing, and it whatever dark life was in its eyes flickers out. Like it has, you see that moment where it's still alive, but not going to be for very long, and it like looks at you, and you can see the light just.
I give it one of these,
and the thing drops.
The last thing it sees in this world is your finger in its face.
Yes. So
and now it's my turn. 2 left.
There's 2 left, and Hugon, it is your turn.
Take down the injured one, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually going to, like, having annihilated that one, I'm going straight for its buddy, who I pinned to the ground. Huh? No. Oh yeah, it's gonna happen.
Okay.
So check this out.
Hold on. I'm having some. Okay, let's try this again. All right, go. I'm sorry, I had a bad connection.
Okay, so listen to this. Here it is. I'm gonna, with the lights that are hanging out in the sky that Corbin has produced, and seeing that they don't like them, I'm going to use the axe head to reflect or refract light into one of their faces, and see if I can get disorient them as I'm moving in for the attack.
Oh, okay.
What would you like me to roll to make that happen?
That I think would be a dexterity check to see if you were able to get everything angled right in there to make sure that to make it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. Straight raw dexterity and +2 on this roll. No, 7 is probably not sufficient.
No, it would not.
Okay.
You're able to catch it, but you're not able to quite, as you're moving in, you're not able to quite.
Crap.
So
I knew there was something I meant to do on my turn.
I give him his advantage.
By the way, your woman that's been missing still has bardic inspiration.
Oh, it hasn't been helping.
Okay, good to know.
No, because there's a whole.
She gets to add an additional d6 to any.
Roll. Well, that does change things, kind of.
But we can use it next turn.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
So
does the next D4 count for Hugon?
I didn't get a D4.
No, I didn't. I gave it to the 2 people who were doing very poorly.
So seeing that didn't work, doesn't really matter. Still going to hit him with the very deadly weapon that is in my.
Well, which one are you going for?
The one that I almost killed initially.
Okay. All right.
I have a 23 to hit.
That hits.
Get some, son.
Get in the roller.
Get in the belly.
I have 11 to damage.
So describe to me what you're doing here.
So I was trying to angle the light, and seeing that it's not working, I turn the halberd in my hands so that the axe blade is backward, and just hook him straight in the head. Just grab him just pin it, and that. Yep. Now you're on the hook.
So as you do that, and you probably yank forward, right?
Oh yeah.
So
and
you yank
brain
forward.
Comes with you.
Half of its head comes with me.
You hear a crunch. He stays still, but your polearm does not. It comes forward, and you hear this crunch as it slips right in between the different plates of chitin. And something comes out of his nose. You're not sure what it is. It could be brains. It could be some other kind of viscera that lives in their head. But once again,
it could be pie.
Out.
It could be delicious.
It could be
boysenberry.
pie. It could be, or it could be poisonberry.
Right. Now, here's the thing.
Only one man would dare give me the raspberry. Lone Star!
So, can I use my D4 bludgeoning attack on the only one left alive? Am I within range of him?
They did
yes,
all run
you
up
are.
and hit you, so yes, you're in range of
Okay.
him.
Well, since this is a bonus action, I can still take my move after it.
Yes.
Okay. So I will bonus action to attack him, and I roll a 16 on this attack,
That hits.
and I roll a 4 on the damage,
Okay.
and then I take a step away from him to put distance between us,
Okay.
so that he has to advance to me if he wants to
But
attack.
as you move away, he'd get an attack he'd get an opportunity attack.
He would.
So he's gonna.
This is something that I'm actively risking.
Yeah. So
Because I want him to approach.
garbage. No, you're able to easily just sort of like almost like push off with the pole arm to create that distance. So there'd be no way for him to come get you without, or it to be able to get you, because these are kind of like general neutral. There's really no telling. You haven't taken the time to lift them up and look underneath to see.
Oh, we're getting there.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
There's going to be a biology lesson after this.
Clues isn't taking one of these things apart in about 20 minutes. I'm very surprised.
Ooh, armor.
Okay, so that's my action.
Okay, so now it is.
That was a good combo. Good combo moves.
It was now it's Mr. Meanlock's turn here. So he is going to come back after you, Hugon. Here, he is going to move towards you.
Okay.
And that's where you get your. Or did you said you get one per round?
He's already used his attack of opportunity.
I did use it to
kill the other one.
Right. But does he take one from the badger?
He does take one from the badger.
Yes, he would take one from the badger. So the badger.
Get badgered, nerd.
Don't roll like ass, Brian.
I'm gonna try not to.
Actually, I would like him to roll like crap because these monsters have hit us once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crap. Oh wait, hang on. Let's try that again.
As much as he does get the extra D4, remember?
Yep. So 13 plus 4. Yep, that hits. So that's going to be. He'll just get a claw attack there. So that'll be 2d4 plus 1. 1, 4, 5. Okay.
So this one's taken 8 already.
5.
Okay, cool.
Can't do math.
It's all right.
It's hard.
13. I add 5 to a lot of
All
things
right.
for my skills right now. So
Now Tobin's able to take a quick swipe and get an attack in there. Now he's going to take a swing at you.
Rock on. Bring it.
Ugh. God damn it. All right, he misses.
Dice.
Did you just pitch it over your shoulder?
That was trash. He missed.
Oh, man, this
might
is
need a
me
new
as a
tower.
DM. This is me as a DM every time, which is why I roll so well here. This is my dice karma.
So he comes in again for another claw attack and just misses utterly. Drenmai, Gem Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
Come on,
I'm gonna
man.
firebolt the shit out of him.
Give him
I'm
the
gonna kick him.
business.
Give him the business and I'm gonna set a big old fireball in his face. He is going to take 8 points of damage.
Is there any kind of save on that, or is it just automatic?
It's instantaneous.
Fireball,
save?
you have to roll to hit.
Yeah.
Fireball?
It's magic
says
missile
instantaneous.
that you don't roll. It's magic missile that you don't roll to hit.
It should be the same, I thought. I look. No, they're both
Yeah,
instantaneous.
instantaneous
It's not
is cast
instantaneous.
time. It's not.
Yeah.
And then one action.
Let's take a look here. Fire.
I'm trying to actually make it a little. I want.
You're dropping out on us too.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening here. Fire bolt.
Firebolt is an evocation cantrip.
One action. Instantaneous.
How is Firebolt not in my player's handbook?
It's on page 242.
You hurl a mote of fire at a creature or object within range. Make a ranged spell
On
attack.
a hit, yeah. Just make a
Yeah, you have to make a ranged spell attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So roll and add all your numbers.
Let's see. 19.
That hits.
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna take 8 fire damage.
All right. 8.
Big old ball of fire. I'm still sitting on the ground.
So again, what is
Fireball.
So yeah, what does that look like coming out of the lantern there?
Oh, it's like the gems. So I'm sitting there, and you see the lantern. It starts glowing this kind of goldish red, and hues start going on, and all the different spikes, and then a bolt of fire comes out and just launches at him. I'm trying to cook him.
So this is the laser beam you used before, right?
I'm sorry.
What?
You used this before, and it was a laser beam, right? Firebolt.
The firebolt.
Because you set that one roof on fire with it.
Yes.
Cool.
And you iced a knoll.
So you're saying this is the Zorch spell?
Yes.
Zorch.
Zorch.
I see some Kirby crackle and like.
It traces up the ground. It takes just a black scorch up the ground and just.
Yeah. It levels this thing right in the chest. You might hear some boiling. It doesn't smell like good seafood.
Aww.
Come on, this thing's
disappointed.
gotta be nearly dead. It's gotta be nearly dead.
She says that out loud.
Thunic. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't die. Oh.
Disappointed.
Thunic.
Am I within reach of this dude?
Get it, big man.
Yes.
All right.
Go and
give him the business.
Thunic smash.
It is time to show him what for.
And if that doesn't work,
I like how we're all doing this like crazy.
We'll show him what.
You're gonna walk up there and be like.
It's just like this classic like. It's like I have the stick is at its end in my hand, so it sort of looks like any one of us had rolled up a newspaper.
Yeah.
As he walked. So let me roll for attack before I describe this any further.
Bad Meatlock.
25.
That hits.
I've been rolling like crap all night. This is great. So that is a D8 plus bludgeoning.
Well, that's D8 plus strength.
Oh, sorry. D8 plus 4. Yeah, sorry. And it's bludgeoning. So 10.
Bad. And like it's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that, and it's just a puddle.
Oh wait, hold on. It's technically a 26 to hit because I forgot my blessing.
Yeah.
It's just a hit, man.
Yeah.
Dropping it
more.
Like he's hit us once.
It's a binary state. He's either hit or not. So So is this like a bad, or is it more of like a backhand? Are you doing more of like a Pete Sampras forearm? I mean, like, so what's the approach here?
Thunic is just sort of casually walk up and go, wham. Yeah.
No. So I'm thinking of like Andre the Giant from Princess Bride.
Yes.
When he, I think I jogged his memory too hard.
Yeah. Except when you did that, the top plate just caves in the middle. And it just crunches, and like he's a little shorter now. And just the whole thing just crumples to the ground in front of you. Dead. Very, very dead.
Very dead.
Very dead.
Did I have
immediately go over and see if he's edible?
I'm sorry, you say what,
Wait,
Thana?
are we still in combat?
No, you would be out of combat at this point.
Okay. I was going to ask you, did I use my move to actually have to get up to this dude to
Yeah, you would have moved. Yeah, you would have had to take stride up to him and just dunk.
Yeah.
Thunic went thunk.
Thunic's concerned about these people who got dragged into the ground.
Okay.
So he's going to run up to the hole, see if he can fit in it.
Is
there a hole?
There is. It would be a tight fit. It's only about 5 feet wide. But it's tall enough. Like Thunic, you would have to crouch down to get in there. You would be able to move in there. Obviously, Dren and Corbin would not have any issues getting in there. Hugon, you would probably be. You don't have a little bit of headroom clearance in there. You wouldn't be able to have like your polearm. If your polearm was taller than you wouldn't be able to have it like straight up and down in front of you.
Right, I'd have to like use it as a spear.
Yeah. So, but that would also probably bode well for you just in terms of having that polearm master alleyway defense. So yeah, so you could get down there if you so desired.
I'm still trying to see if one of them's edible.
So what are you doing? Are you like trying to peel off like the chest plate? Like
I probably like set a little fire under him. Maybe I had some water on me and I might be trying to boil him a little. I went to the one that I fire bolted and see how cooked he is. And if he needs to cook more, I might just fire him some more.
Good. This is not.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's
no want.
Yeah. So if you can imagine the smell of a tire burning.
Oh.
While this black ichor is seeping out of
How
all
far
of
from my shop am I?
Oh God. I mean,
are you just gonna like scuttle around the ground, drag this little bastard back with you?
I want to take a claw
to my shop.
Oh, you're just gonna hack a cloth?
I want to drag one of the claws and take it back to my shop.
So you're sitting there you're twisting it, trying to pop it off, and.
All
right. Give me a strength check.
Okay. Oh God. Sanook.
I mean, like we're both standing right there. You could be like, "I want this claw," and I'd be like, "All right."
14.
Wow.
You're able to get some cracking out of it, and you're able to as you're moving it back and forth and trying to like a crab claw, how you have to kind of twist it certain ways, and you're able to get it to crack and loosen, but you can't quite get it. You can't. Yeah, the joint's still kind of in there. You can't quite get it to detach just yet.
All right. Well, I kind of pat her and like hold on just a second, and I grab a hold of it by the forearm, and I roll a 12 strength check to tear its arm off. And just brace against it with my boot and be like, and go.
Nah, that wouldn't be enough.
Not enough?
You gotta. That arm is in there.
Well, I look at.
It's almost like it's almost like it's attached to the rest of the body.
I'd be like, Dren, just take the whole thing back with you.
Okay. Sanook, can you help me real quick?
Sanook's still over by the hole. His head's down. I was like, hello.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, geez, that was not bad. 22.
You can hear screams of torment coming from the hole.
I don't have any. It's pretty dark in there, isn't it?
There's a weird, almost bioluminescence. It's like a dim purplish glow.
Okay.
Like enough that you would be able to see, that you wouldn't need dark vision. If you had dark vision, you'd be fine. But you'd be able to see and work your way around in there.
Which direction is this towards, because they were chasing the people, is this towards the people that the screaming's coming from, or a different direction?
What do you mean?
Well, when they were tunneling or something, they looked like they were following the crowd.
Well, yeah, so they popped up from the ground, and the tunnel basically
ended there.
It's like this ramp of this hole in the ground that kind of goes down at an angle.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can see like this dim purple glow from like this, what looks like this moss that's kind of just like all over the walls. And you can't see very far down there, but you did, and it's very muffled. When you yelled hello, it was very, very muffled, but you were able to hear just very barely like these screams of torment.
Assuming that everyone else can't hear that, Thunuk's gonna shout over to the rest of the group, like, "Hey guys, they're hurting these people. We got to go down there." No.
I mean, I'm trying to. My thought is that I don't want to abandon the town in case more show up, because we have no idea how many there are.
So as this is all happening, Tobin shapes back to human form, and he sees that you do have a cut on your leg, and he comes over. And hang on, what does he have? He has cure wounds. So
does he just like put his hands on me without like informing me of what he's gonna do?
Yeah, he's like, "No, man, that looks like it hurts. Let me. I can fix it for you, man."
D8 plus spellcasting ability modifier.
Okay, so a D8. So that does gives you 9 points back.
Yay, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he pretty much tops you off there.
I like it.
And Ilorana is finally able to move herself closer again now that
she's not afraid anymore.
No, but you can see she's got this look of utter disgust with herself. She's
very embarrassed
and just disappointed that this is a creature she appears to have fought before, but not and just is used to these attacks, but just somehow is not able to fend it off this time. So you guys are all kind of like in this area of the square.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You hear a screaming from the opposite end of the square, and you see,
Where I am.
No, you're
the
still
north end, or?
No. So you're like kind of like in the north and
easterly.
The square is like not. It's not truly a square. So you guys are like on the north and western side of it. This is coming from the far eastern side.
Okay. It's on the opposite side of where we are currently at, right?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so opposite of our current location.
Opposite of your current location. You hear this scream, and when you look over, you see a couple more of these creatures dragging someone down into the hole, and there's like others that are coming up. Yeah, a different hole that apparently had formed there, and they're dragging someone down. And as they're doing that, you hear so like there's one that's dragging this woman down, and there's two others that are kind of like standing guard, and you hear hooves. And from the darkness, from the one alley that this is near, the two centaurs, Dryaphan and Cloaphan, the ones that had initially contracted with you guys, charge out of the darkness with these enormous lances and just bear down on these two and just bear them right into the ground. I mean, it was just like dead as dead. Like, I mean, because they hit them at full gallop, where they're like up in the air and down. But the one is able to go down, and you see that it's actually Linan.
Oh, God damn it!
Being drugged down into the hole.
So now the one that's most scared of crab people is now being taken by the crab people.
Not Linan. That's you're thinking of Ilorana. No, Linan.
No.
Linan is
the human woman whose daughter.
the mom.
Yeah, Tadell's mother.
The mom.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell was she still here? She should have been with the crowd that was leaving.
Well, her daughter probably.
Because she's what Corbin likes to call a fucking cock muppet.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, well.
So I just turn to the druids and say, "So, you calling for help now?"
We will send a message. And Ilarana says, either one of us can go. Do you want either one of us to stay?
Useless, so go.
That she says out loud. And Ilarana tries, you can see her face flush, and it's not with anger at you. It is
I look at her
embarrassment.
To diffuse the situation. I'm like, which one of you is more likely to get a favorable response?
Who's faster?
Well, that too. That's important.
She says, that would be me.
Then you should go.
Good.
Bring back the fire and the thunder, because there's 4 of us. The guards don't seem to be bloody doing anything. And there's at least 7 or 8 of these things, which we've already seen have at least some form of paralytic poison and the ability to frighten the shit out of people. This is not something the 4 of us can accomplish on our own.
And she says, I will go. It may be a few hours before I can return with help.
Not to mention, the people who you are here to negotiate with have likely been taken hostage.
It would appear that way. I'll leave at once. And she wild shapes into this enormous wolf that has, it's almost like the legs are out of proportion to the rest of the body. Just, I mean, this wolf is as tall as you, Hugon.
Yeah, a Percheron-sized wolf.
Just
all leg.
And just jet black fur,
mm-hmm.
and just slathering jaws.
Horse wolf.
And she wild shapes and takes off running, and she disappears into the darkness.
Okay.
At which point I turn to Tobrin and go, how often can you change shape?
I can probably do it one more time today.
Any chance you can get some recon on what's going down in the hole?
He's
like
like
a weasel.
Wessel. Or a badger. Badgers are cool too. I'm just saying.
Badgers are they're very handy in a hole.
Yep.
Phrasing.
Yep.
Bear in mind, I am saying this from across the courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
I have not rejoined the group yet.
No, that's fine. And he wild shapes into a much smaller badger, because a giant badger might be draw too much attention.
Right.
In the hole.
It's too much badger.
There's too much badger for this hole. So
now, once he disappears into the hole, I turn to the other 3 and I'm like, right, who we saving? Townsperson or moron mages?
And as you're saying that, the 2 centaurs come riding up and they say, we'll protect the townspeople.
Well, there's one already in the hole.
Protect the ones who aren't in the hole.
We can't
protect the ones that are probably still partying.
That's why I'm trying to discuss with my team if we're going to go get the one out of the hole or we're going to go get the mages. Mages, I would think, would have a built-in defense mechanism called, I don't know, magic.
It's possible, but...
I mean possible, they're mages! That is a defenseless townsperson.
Meanlocks can have strange effects on people.
Oh, great. They're poisoned mages.
I vote that we go for the townsperson, and I vote that we go now.
Wouldn't we, in theory, they all be in the same... It's being taken by one group. Obviously, they probably all going to the same spot.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was going to ask if the tunnel my
could
head
be
was
taken.
on is going in the same direction as that hole that the other one was. So basically, they've all been taken down the same tunnel. Just a different hole.
Yeah. I'm picturing like ant tunnels underneath the ground, but it's all going back to
Someone's going to pipe up and say, "I think it's the same tunnel."
I talked to the plants. The roots told me so.
Oh man.
Does bioluminescent fungus count as being able to speech of plant and leaf, or leaf and beast?
Yes, because it's a plant.
It's not a leaf though. It's fungus.
It's plant adjacent. It's plant adjacent.
Still plant.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, you could probably talk to the plants.
Okay, good to know. This is more of like
There's no guarantee there's bioluminescence down there though. These are fresh tunnels that they just dug.
And so as you're having this conversation, Hugon, there's a tug at your pant leg.
Oh God.
And it's Tidell looking up at you.
Where's mommy?
But this time, her eyes aren't beaming. She's not smiling. You can see just tears streak down her face, and these big blue eyes look up at you, and she says, "Mr. Hugon, where's mommy?"
And that's where we're going to end today's game.
And that is where we're ending today's game.
Come on.
So,
well, that's good because I was about to go off and be like, "Where the shit is your father?"
Thank you everyone for tuning in to this week's edition of Team X. We have a special surprise for you in that moving forward, this is going to be a weekly game. So we will no longer be doing every other week. It'll be much easier for you to catch our shenanigans, tomfoolery.
Well, there will be content every Sunday.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes it will be Team X every week. Other months it may be Team X 3 weeks and something else the other week. But there will be content.
But it will be more
every Sunday.
So so tune in Sunday.
On the EDR channel.
Yeah. But thank you everyone very much for tuning in. We are going to take a brief break and make full use of all of our facilities in all the ways, shapes, and forms that could possibly mean. And then we will come back for those of you who want to stick around and decided not to tune into that awful E3 thing and decided to be where the real action is at, which is right here. We'll be coming back and doing a little bit of table talk.
Phrasing right here.
I got your action right here.
I got your action right here.
All you need.
I'm walking here.
But thank you everyone very much for tuning in. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes for table talk.